frustration in a recent interview, claiming that Caitlin Clark is ruining what used to make the WNBA great. Wait for this.
Empty stands?
Tom, let me just...
Go ahead, I'm so mad.
WNBA games used to be a chill, quiet place. You could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now, it's like there's a large gathering of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score like we're there for their entertainment. And that's pretty gross.
Brittney Griner just got posterized, and not on the court Patrick, Bet David's co-host Vincent Oshana, came in like prime Jordan and dunked on her over a racial shot at Caitlin Clark that left the WNBA looking like it fouled out of common sense. The takedown was so brutal, it's going viral faster than a buzzer beater. 3 hypocrisy check trade regrets. Oh yeah, if Griner's the franchise, maybe we should have kept a merchant of death. On the bench, an Adam.
I mean, and Adam, I know, Adam, you definitely have something to say, and I know Adam, I'm going to piggyback off of Adam because Adam's been saying this for a while, that this is why the WNBA is never, ever, ever going to work and never make money. And this is exactly what Caitlin Clark gets for bending the knee. Do you guys remember when she said, when we lost all respect for her, when she said, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. And the more we can elevate black women, this is going to be a beautiful thing. That's when it was all over. And Angel Reese and Brittney Griner, they walk around like the league owes them something. Even Ryan Clark's attitude as if, bro, where's the victimhood? These are freaking millionaires.
And you know, well, let's keep it all the way real. This league, it's grossly unprofessional. Not just the kind of oops, we miss a trip unprofessional. No, we're talking about the locker room is on fire. And someone just dunked the rule book in gasoline, kind of unprofessional. This is supposed to be professional women's basketball, not the Real Housewives of elbow throws.
So the whole market reacts to this with Brittney Griner, right? And then the other quote, Rob, then I'm going to wrap this up and then I'm going to go to Adam. Put the quote of Brittney Griner, what she said about the NBA. This is so funny how all this stuff works out, right? She says, this is from Brittney. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there, watching on purpose. It's very disruptive. It's called a freaking game that they pay you money to play. Don't play.
You tune in expecting layups and leadership, and instead you get shade slurs and WW chair shots with a side of media gaslighting. Let's be honest, no fan pays for courtside seats to watch a game devolve into a personal vendetta showcase. No one's showing up for the All-Star game thinking, wow, I hope someone makes a racially charged comment and gets away with a flagrant elbow to the throat. Yet, here we are with Caitlin Clark, America's current basketball sweetheart, getting clobbered like it's open season just because she's good and, oh yeah, happens to be white.
This is what Brittney Griner calls. I was not going to comment on any of this stuff until this took place. Watch what she says. The entire internet has reacted to this. Here's Brittney Griner. They're playing against the Indiana Fever, and look what she's saying. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, the ticky-tack dolls that we were talking about earlier today.
That pretty much sounds like trash effing white girl.
But sure, let's keep pretending this is about competition and rookie hazing, right? Meanwhile, the league's leadership is sitting courtside with popcorn, smiling like this is all great for ratings. Spoiler alert, it's not. This isn't growing a game, it's throwing it into a burning dumpster and yelling heat check.
Griner was caught on tape during a game with the Indiana Fever, dropping racial slurs against Caitlin Clark. And it doesn't take a lot of genius to lip read Brittney Griner, whose voice, by the way, is about as low as mine is, calling her trash and an effing white girl. Now, of course, if Caitlin Clark had ever suggested the same in reverse, using black as opposed to white in that sentence, that'd be the end of her WNBA career. But Brittney Griner is going strong. It's totally fine.
And let's talk about the refs, the people who are supposed to be the adults in the room, the ones with whistles and authority. You have better luck finding consistency in a toddler's crayon drawing. One player breathes too hard near another, and it's a technical. Caitlin Clark gets shoved into the third row, and the refs apparently updating their playlist on Spotify. Oh, is that a foul? Sorry, I was listening to Beyonce. The standard is so broken-you'd. Swear the refs are flipping coins to decide calls. Heads, we call the foul. Tails, we let her get Bodas slammed. We need refs who know the game, not ones who treat each call like they're guessing bingo numbers. Fair fishing isn't optional. It's the bare minimum. Otherwise, were we even watching a highlight reel or a hate crime? And here's the part where we got called a flagrant on the league itself. Clean house, get rid of the racial agitators, the bullies. And sneakers, the bench players acting like they're starring in a Tarantino film. Fire the Coaches who endorse this madness with their silence drop the execs who think chaos is a marketing strategy. You don't build a league by turning it into a circus. You build it by making it a sanctuary for talent, discipline, and actual professionalism.
I don't know for sure what was going on with what cameras caught Brittney Griner saying on the bench after she had fouled out against Caitlin Clark's Fever in Atlanta. I waited to comment on this until the WNBA was able to investigate it. I wanted them to issue a statement about it, but we have heard nothing from the WNBA, absolutely nothing. And Brittney Griner has not commented, which I find.
Because guess what? There are women out there grinding daily, perfecting their craft, working there. But ought to make it to this level, they've made basketball their life. They train, they study film. They lead by example. And what's their reward? Sharing a court with clowns who treat the game like a personal Twitter beef. The real pros are being overshadowed by headline-chasing brawlers who think throwing shade is part of the playbook. This isn't middle school gym class, this is the WNBA, or at least it was supposed to be, but with every dirty play and every media ignored slur, the league loses something: credibility, respect, viewership. It's not Caitlin Clark dragging down the league. It's the league tripping over its own shoelaces, face-planting on national TV, and blaming the rookie for its own lack of traction. And don't let them fool you with that growing pains nonsense. You don't grow by letting dysfunction run wild. You grow by setting standards, demanding excellence, and making it crystal clear. Racism, bullying, and cheap shots have no place in this game period and a quarter. Imagine being a young girl watching the WNBA for the first time, dreaming of playing one day, and instead of being inspired, she's watching veterans gang up on a rookie ref shrugging off violence, and announcers trying to spin it like it's all part of the passion. That's not passion, that's poison.
Supporters, well, we're going to talk about Brittney Griner. That's right, the WNBA's woke trifecta. She's black. She's a woman, ? And she is lesbian. My goodness. That is the leftist propaganda machine that actually happens to play basketball, the WNBA. That is their wet dream of a player. By the way, the whole league is ate up with that.
And the league's drinking it like it's Gatorade. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's out here taking elbows like she's in the UFC. And the only thing the league has to say is silence crickets. Maybe a passive-aggressive press release 3 days later that says nothing. The message is clear if you're not part of the mean girl. Click you're on your own, and let's not even pretend that hypocrisy isn't nuclear. If this were reversed, if Caitlin Clark had said anything remotely controversial in the direction of someone like Gurrier, or made a dangerous play, CNN would have set up camp outside her house. ESPN would have held a week-long panel. She'd be publicly canceled, sent to sensitivity training. And the league would be reading prepared statements like hostages. But Gurrier, she tosses out a slur and a shoulder check. And suddenly it's just competitive fire. Get out of here with that. You can't preach empowerment while protecting bullies you can't scream for. Equality while turning a blind eye to racial slurs, just because they're aimed in a different direction. That's not empowerment. That's cowardice wearing a jersey. And to the fans who say, well, it's just part of the game, let me ask you, what game of the game now includes public hate, race baiting, and sanctioned assault? Maybe we need a new rule book or a new league.
What's happened to her in the last 2 years since graduating college is that she has been abused repeatedly. We have shown you videos just getting elbowed, getting crushed, inbound passes where they ram into her, just absolutely abused. And there clearly is a racial element to it. Here is Brittney Griner elbowing Caitlin Clark in a crazy way and then calling her a trash white girl.
Fouled out at 6, and it was the ticky-tack fouls, and again, Caitlin Clark doing a little bit of an acting job. Not sure if that was actually a foul, but again, that's
For the ticky-tack fouls that we were talking about earlier today.
All right, so she wants to be seen. She knows the cameras are on her. Trash white girl. She wants to be seen.
You want growth? Do you want fans? Here's the play act like professionals respect. The sport respect your opponents. Show the young girls watching that making it to the WNBA isn't about joining a fight club. It's about being elite. And to the WNBA execs, this is your shot clock winding down. Make the call. Because right now, the only thing more embarrassing than Brittney Griner's cheap shots is the league's decision to pretend this mess is business. As usual, spoiler alert, it isn't called a fouls, clean the court, and for the love of everything holy in basketball, stop treating Professionalism like it's optional, the WNBA is supposed to be where talent meets respect. Instead, we're stuck in a crossover between Bad Girls Club and Street Fighter. And if this keeps up, don't be surprised when fans take their support and their wallets somewhere else. Because we didn't sign up for race wars and sneakers, we signed up for basketball, clean, elite, inspiring basketball. So until the WNBA decides whether it wants to be a professional league or a live-action soap opera with a free foul, policy the balls in their court, let's see if they can finally miraculously make the right play. Brittney Griner just got posturized and not on the court. Patrick Bet David's co-host Vincent Oshana came in like prime Jordan and dunked on her over a racial shot at Caitlin Clark that left the WNBA looking like it fouled out of common sense.
As far as I understand, it's mostly women without penises, but I leave that to you to figure it. Well, it's actually a little unclear because this Brittney Griner, a lot of people think she's a dude, but in any event, Brittney Griner is a black basketball player who some people think is a man. I don't know. I guess she's a woman. Let's just say she's a woman. Here's a chick, a black chick. And then, of course, there's Caitlin Clark. And everyone knows Caitlin Clark. She is and Brittney Griner's a fine player, I suppose. We'll get to that in a minute. But Caitlin Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for forever to elevate WNBA to the point that guys might start talking about it and going, boy, she really is something else.
The takedown was so brutal. It's going viral faster than a buzzer beater 3 hypocrisy check trade regrets. Oh, yeah, if Griner's the franchise, maybe we should have kept the merchant of death on the bench. And you know what? Let's keep it all the way real. This league, it's grossly unprofessional. Not just the kind of oops, we miss a trip unprofessional. No, we're talking about the locker rooms on fire. And someone just dunked the rule book in gasoline kind of unprofessional you tune in expecting. Layups and leadership, and instead you get shade slurs and WWE chair shots with side of media gaslighting. Let's be honest, no fan pays for courtside seats to watch a game devolve into a personal vendetta showcase. Yet here we are with Caitlin Clark, America's current basketball sweetheart, getting clobbered like it's open season just because she's good, and oh yeah, happens to be white. But sure, let's keep pretending this is about competition and rookie hazing, right?
Was a victim of racial things being said or heard, which a lot of people have come out with what the noise actually was, and it's been disproven. The WNBA launched an investigation on Indiana Fever fans. Nothing has come out of it. The WNBA, in fact, one journalist said, may or may not ever disclose the verdict on the situation, which doesn't shock me, because I'm sure they've dug in and they're like, oh crap, we've got no proof of anything. All the while,
meanwhile, the league's leadership is sitting courtside with popcorn, smiling like this is all great for ratings. Spoiler alert, it's not. This isn't growing a game, it's throwing into a burning dumpster and yelling heat check. And let's talk about the rest of people who are supposed to be the adults in the room, the ones with whistles and authority. You have better luck finding consistency in a toddler's crayon drawing one player breathes too hard near another, and it's a technicality, Caitlin. Clark gets shoved into the third row and the refs apparently updating their playlist on Spotify. Oh, was that a foul? Sorry. I was listening to Beyonce. The standard is so broken you'd swear the refs are flipping coins to the side. Calls fair officiating isn't optional. It's the bare minimum. Otherwise, were we even watching a highlight reel or a hate crime? And here's the part where we gotta call the flagrant on the league itself. Clean house, get rid of the racial agitators, the bullies, and sneakers. The bench players acting like they're starring in a Tarantino film, fire the coaches who endorse this madness with their silence, drop the execs who think chaos is a marketing strategy. You don't build a league by turning it into a circus, you build it by making it a sanctuary for talent, discipline, and actual professionalism.
Jamel Hill used to work with her at ESPN. I believe Jamel said Griner actually said fucking whack call, and that could be the case. I'm not a lip reader. But it sure looks to me like the last word is girl, not call. Tell me I'm wrong. So Griner didn't commit her sixth foul